say.
Take it easy.
Okay. I'm so excited that
No kidding.
I'm saving this for my first Abraham cruise in the hot seat. And so I'm going to watch it whenever I get confused, which happens. And I also want to say that, oh my gosh, thank you so much, right? Coming here, the work that you do, the work that Esther does, the difference it's made in my life, right?
You're doing all the work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But you're helping.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's because we're smart.
Yes.
We are calibrated to the way things work. And so there are no unnecessary wild goose chases. Once you get it, everything in the universe trends on these laws. So once you get a sense of what they are, and you're able to understand what clicking into something really feels like, then even though you sometimes aren't standing right where you want to be, it's not without knowing how to get there with a little different focus. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think I'm right in the middle of a lot of change, which is why it's very exciting for me to be here as my first time. And I have this desire to channel for people. I love being in the presence of other people and having the intuitive knowing of helping them and in just the right words giving them the message that they need, whatever it is that
Does
I'm
it come
doing.
to you spontaneously from time to time?
Yes. I'm working on practicing increasing my sensing powers because I get kind of excited, right? So recognizing tone of voice and feeling and sensing in my body, practicing feeling my body and how the energy's coming.
The reason we ask the question, Esther says to several of her friends, that was so insightful. She said, boy, did you ever download that just now? In other words, she hears it around the dinner table and with friends on the telephone and with her daughter. In other words, you can just feel when you're clicked in and you can feel resonance when someone with you is expressing something that's really tuned in, tapped in, and turned on. So it happens to everyone depending upon what's going on in the vibrational atmosphere. But in order to do what you're talking about, there has to be enough stability is maybe one word, but enough trending, enough familiarity in that energy that you can maintain it no matter what's going on in the atmosphere around. You know what we were talking about earlier? Someone will say, well, are psychics accurate? And we say, sometimes they're channeling their own situation, not yours. Or sometimes they're picking up something from the neighbor next door. In other words, it takes some calibrating and some feeling until you really know that you're on a wavelength that is steady for you. And so the fact that it's happening, that's really good. Just don't jump into it until you really know that you're in that place. Esther said, after Jerry made his transition, which was almost 10 years ago, which seems unbelievable, that much time has passed. She said shortly after, it's weird that the weirdest thing in my life, which is us, she's talking about us, is the only thing that ever feels normal to me. But it was because the stability of that long time stability, that was something that was solid while everything else in her world was a little bit upside down for a while. You see, you get the sense of what we're talking about.
Yeah. The trending really has helped, right? About which way that I am going, and also that I'm not releasing anything, that everything that I have done, right, and everyone that I have loved, I take that with me to what I'm gonna create next. I don't have to leave it behind. It's part of me.
Well, you can't take anything with you that's not a vibrational match to you. And you can't leave anything behind that's a vibrational match to you. So everything that you've lived, as you look at what you have lived and you focus yourself into a trend of love and appreciation about it, now it's with you all the time. In other words, you don't have to close any doors. The law of attraction is taking care of all of that. There's nothing that you have to be proactive about in that way. The laws of the universe are taking care of all of that. Yes?
Yeah, I'm good.
So why were you clarifying that with us?
I'm working on really more calibrating.
But why were you clarifying that with us?
Because I have a love relationship in my past that I wish was different. I don't wish it was different. I know that it's the right thing, but obviously I'm feeling sad.
So you know about the happy face sticker thing, right?
Yes.
So what did you say again? Maybe you were going to say it different now.
Okay, let me think for a second. I'm going to preface it a little bit in a way that I know you know, and Esther knows. My dad died, and I don't care. I love my dad. He's always there with me. My story the other day was Dad wanted to go to Casper's, so we had a Casper's. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
It's true.
Yes. Thank you. I love my dad so much. And I have this other past love romantic relationship, and it's over, and it's the best thing because we learned so much, and I'm modeling taking care of myself, but I still feel sad about it. It's not like with my dad.
So when you said, I'm not closing a door, I'm not leaving things behind, why did you say that?
I'm saying it because...
You're saying it because you think you're leaving things behind and you don't want to.
Yes. Which
is the same thing to say, I'm not doing this thing that I'm doing right now.
Yes, and I don't want to do it anymore.
Oh, that's even better. I don't want to do this thing that I'm doing that I don't want to do anymore.
Yeah.
So how would you not do something that you don't want to do anymore?
Well...
Do something else. Do something else, which means detach from it. Okay. And that feels like something that you don't want to do. It's what we were talking about at the early part of the day. We want you to feel with us that there's attraction. And if you're not attracting something, it doesn't mean that you're pushing it away. It just means you're not attracting it. And so you're right. This is what you're trying to say to us. Everything that I've lived has been of value to me. And I am who and where I am because of everything that I've lived. And so all that I've lived before is a part of what I am now. And that's as far as you have to take that. You don't have to clarify it or quantify it or specify it in any ways beyond that. You don't have to say to the law of attraction, I want you to really do a good job of doing your job, because the law of attraction is always going to do a really good job of doing its job. How do you know when you're doing a really good job of doing your job? How do you know? You don't feel sad.
Yeah.
You feel anticipation. You feel eagerness. You feel maybe even hopefulness, but you don't feel sad. And so that's what we were talking about that stability that you're reaching for. It's not an easy thing. Yeah, we're talking about wanting to start over with children, a whole new set of children again. Here's a good way to approach this. Sometimes you say, Esther has said, I have enjoyed so much what I'm learning about how this all works. And now I've got a handle on it. And now I am a deliberate creator, mostly. I am a deliberate creator, and I like it. And I don't know how ready I am to make my transition and be born into another little stupid body that is going to have to not know all this stuff for a while. And what we say to that is, you're always going to have the continuity of your inner being. The laws of the universe are always consistent, and you are always this evolving, expanding being, and you don't have to worry about letting something that was of value get away from you, because the value always comes forward with you. That's what you're helping us say. The value always comes forward with you. To another question that we had earlier today, when you make your transition into non-physical, when you reemerge into non-physical, you become all that you've asked for, and you leave behind every piece of resistance. It doesn't transfer into the non-physical. And it's from that place of non-resistance that you make the decision to come back into this physical body. Well, you could, if you really grasp what we just said to you, you could do that in just about every moment of your life experience. You could take who you have become and what you know and what you're positively anticipating. You could take it forward into the next and into the next and into the next and into the next. There's no reason to have contrast just because it's a new experience. You get to the place where you're so good at trending in alignment with your inner being that you can live in this physical body among the people of the world, different from most of them in this way. You don't trend and calibrate to the problems of the world. You trend and calibrate to the solutions of the world. You don't trend and calibrate to what used to be. You trend and calibrate to what's becoming. It's a very different approach to life experience that many people have discovered, but they are rare. But it doesn't need to be rare. It doesn't need to be rare at all. This is not difficult at all. This is a really good time for segment of refreshment.